Step off the porch.
This is my home.
Daddy? Wait, the address.
Hands where I can see them. Is that his house?
Let my daughter go inside. My documents are inside.
You can explain downtown.
The call said a different side of the house.
He was on the property.
It's my property.
Please stop.
Call your supervisor before you regret this. Get in. Maybe we should check.
I said get in. Don't take him. Stay inside, sweetheart. I'm recording this.
That's his house. Back up.
The address doesn't match. Please call the courthouse. Do not delete the video. Why is nobody stopping this? Call the supervisor.
Nobody is calling anyone.
I know the number.
Dispatch, confirm address. Enough. Who is this about?
The cuffs clicked shut while Marcus Hale stood barefoot on his own porch, his daughter watching through the screen door with a glass of milk trembling in her hand. Officer Grant Cole kept shouting that Marcus had fit the call, while neighbors stared from behind curtains. What do you do when the law mistakes your home for a crime scene? How do you protect your child when your voice only makes them tighten the grip? Marcus said one sentence, calm enough to chill the whole street. Call your supervisor before you regret this. But no one listened. Not the partner, not the crowd, not the frightened dispatcher, until the courthouse phone began to ring. The screen door clicked behind Lila and stayed half open, its spring whining in the cold October air. Step off the porch, Officer Grant Cole barked. Marcus did not move. His bare feet were on boards he had sanded 2 Saturdays earlier. The cuffs had closed around his wrists, and the left bracelet pressed against the old gold ring he still wore for Renee. Metal touched metal with a tiny scrape. "My daughter is 12, Marcus said. Let her go inside." Cole's jaw tightened. "You don't give instructions here. I'm asking you not to make her watch this." Behind the mesh, Lila held a glass of milk. Officer Melissa Vance stood near the steps, one hand on her radio, her eyes moving from the porch number to the dispatch note on her screen. "Grant," she said. The call said rear window. "This is the front entrance." Cole did not turn. He was on the property. "It's my property," Marcus said. Across the street, Evelyn Price stood in a blue housecoat, one slipper half off. 3 days earlier, Marcus had carried her groceries. Now her mouth opened, then closed. "Name," Cole demanded. "Marcus Hale." "ID?" "In my wallet. Back pocket. My deed and federal credentials are in the folder on the hall table." Cole laughed toward the windows. "Everybody's important when cuffs come out." Marcus looked past him, straight at Lila. "Close the door, sweetheart." "I don't want to." "Lila." The smell of toast drifted from the kitchen, warm and ordinary, cutting through wet leaves and patrol car exhaust. Her fingers tightened around the glass until milk slipped over the rim. Vance took one step toward the door. "Sir, we can verify." "Stay with him," Cole snapped. The words stopped her. The radio at her shoulder hissed with half a sentence from dispatch. Marcus lowered his voice. "Officer Vance, the clerk's number is on the card in that folder. Call Clara Bennett." Cole's hand closed around his elbow. "You are not directing my partner. I'm preventing a mistake. You already made one." Lila flinched when Cole pulled him down one step. Milk spilled over her fingers and onto the porch mat. No one moved toward her. Not Evelyn. Not the man filming from a delivery van. Not Vance, whose eyes dropped to Marcus's ring, where the cuff had trapped it at an angle. The steel bit colder as Marcus kept his hands still, palms inward, as if calm could become a wall. "Daddy," Lila whispered. "I'm right here." Cole guided him toward the walkway. "You can explain at the station." "He can explain here," Evelyn said suddenly. Everyone looked at her. Even the phones lifted higher. Cole's face changed by 1 degree. "Ma'am, go back inside." "That's his house," Evelyn said, smaller now. Cole pointed toward the patrol car. "Keep walking." The porch light flickered yellow, buzzing like a trapped insect. At the car, Cole opened the rear door. Marcus turned enough to meet Vance's stare. "Call your supervisor before you regret this." For one breath, the street held still. Vance's thumb hovered over her radio. Then Cole pushed the door wider and said, "Inside." As Marcus lowered himself into the back seat, the car roof cut off the porch light, and through the glass he saw Lila bend toward the fallen house key between the boards. At 6:18 that morning, Marcus stood on a kitchen chair with a screwdriver between his teeth, trying to coax the porch light back to life. "Daddy, that looks unsafe," Lila said from the table. "It is only unsafe if you distract the electrician. You are not an electrician. I watched 2 videos and ignored 1 warning label." She smiled into her cereal. The kitchen smelled of cinnamon toast and lemon cleaner. Pale sun striped Renee's photo beside the sugar bowl. Marcus climbed down, wiped dust from his palms, and tapped the switch. The yellow bulb blinked once, twice. Then it held. Lila clapped softly. "Mom would say you finally fixed something before it broke completely." Marcus looked at Renee, laughing in the small frame. He tucked the duplicate photo into his shirt pocket, the way he did before court days and hard days. "Bus in 20 minutes, he said. "Shoes." Outside, Brookhaven smelled of damp leaves and cut grass. Marcus walked Lila to the curb. Across the street, Evelyn Price wrestled with 2 bags, one handle tearing loose. Marcus crossed. "Let me get that, Mrs. Price." "Oh, I've got it." The cans shifted. He caught the bag before apples rolled into the gutter. "You always say that right before gravity disagrees." Evelyn gave a thin laugh. Her housecoat was buttoned crooked, 1 pink roller behind her ear. "You settling in all right?" "Yes, ma'am. Slowly." People take time to know a new face. "I understand." She watched him carry the bags to her porch. "You work downtown?" "Some days." "What kind of work?" He set the apples on a wicker chair. He could have answered fully. Instead, he heard Lila's bus grinding at the corner and chose the smaller truth. "Legal work." Back at the curb, Lila leaned close. "Why don't you ever just say what you are?" "Because what I am should not matter before how I act." "That sounds like one of your speeches." The bus doors sighed open. Lila stepped up, then turned. "Don't forget the parent meeting at 4. "I'll be there." "With the blue folder." "With the blue folder." After the bus pulled away, a curtain moved in the Whitcomb house next door. Dana Whitcomb, in a white cardigan, watched with a mug near her mouth. When Marcus lifted a hand, the curtain dropped. He returned to the porch and tested the light again, still glowing. Under his thumb, the switch plate felt cool and loose. He went inside for the blue folder, the deed beneath a school form, his court badge hidden behind a leather flap. At 8:07, he was at the side of the house, checking the window that had stuck since the first cold snap. The old frame scraped when he lifted it. Paint dust powdered his fingertips. From inside came the tick of the hallway clock and the hum of the refrigerator. A voice floated over the fence. "Tom, I'm telling you, he's at the side window." Marcus paused with one hand on the sash. Dana's husband answered too low for Marcus to catch. A lawnmower started nearby, then died with a cough. Marcus lowered the window carefully. He could have called out and explained the swollen frame and old latch. Instead, he looked at the yellow porch light, still burning in daylight, and picked up his toolbox. On the Whitcomb side, the curtain moved again. Dinah Whitcomb kept one finger on the curtain and one on her phone, leaving a damp oval on the glass each time she leaned closer. "He's still there," she whispered. Tom looked up from the sink, sleeves wet to the elbow. Dana, he lives there. You don't know that. I watched him put a child on the school bus. That doesn't mean he owns the house. Outside, Marcus crossed the yard with his toolbox. The pain against Dana's knuckle felt cold. The side window slid up with a dry scrape. Tom dried his hands. Ask Evelyn. Evelyn talks to everybody. Dana tapped emergency services before Tom could reach her. Brookhaven emergency. What is your location? Donna gave the address, then corrected herself. Next door. A man is trying to get into the yellow Porch house. Tom stepped closer. Say you don't know. Dana turned away. He has tools. Ma'am? The dispatcher said. Is he breaking the window? He's opening it. With force? Dana watched Marcus wipe paint dust from his fingertips. I can't tell. He keeps looking around. Tom covered his eyes. You are filling in blanks. I am protecting the neighborhood. Keys clicked. Can you describe him? Dana hesitated. The damp print of her finger spread as she pressed harder. Black male, mid-40s, work shirt, dark truck and drive. I haven't seen him here this week. Tom said, He moved in. Please be quiet. At the Brookhaven station, Officer Grant Cole stood beside the coffee machine while the call summary appeared. The coffee smelled burnt, and the cup softened in his grip. Sergeant Anita Brooks read from the screen. Suspicious person, residential property, tools in hand, no confirmed entry. Cole lifted his chin. I'll take it. Brooks looked over her glasses. Cole, slow contact. Verify first. Always do. That is not what last month's complaint said. The room quieted until the printer sounded loud. Officer Melissa Vance, reaching for keys, glanced at Cole. Cole tossed the cup. It hit the rim and fell in. A neighbor calls scared. We respond. We respond clean, Brooks said. Address, ownership, actual conduct. You hear me? Yes, Sergeant. But his answer came too fast. In the patrol car, Vance read the notes as they pulled onto Maple Row. Caller says side window. No weapon mentioned. No forced entry confirmed. Cole drove with one hand high on the wheel. People don't call for nothing. They call for guesses all the time. Then we sort it out. The heater blew dust and old vinyl into the cabin. Vance watched yellow leaves slide along the curb. Grant, if it's the homeowner, he can say so. And we verify. He did not answer. Back at the Whitcomb house, Dana was still on the line. The porch light on Marcus's house glowed in the pale sun. I don't see him now, she said. Officers are arriving, the dispatcher replied. Stay inside. Tom saw Marcus step onto his porch with the toolbox in one hand and his keys in the other. He's at the front door, Tom said, with keys. Dana lowered the phone but did not speak. Across the street, Evelyn came out for her newspaper. The first patrol car turned onto Maple Row, tires whispering over wet leaves, and Dana's damp fingerprint caught the light like a small, cloudy warning. The first patrol car stopped crooked at the curb, tires crushing wet leaves into a dark line. Marcus turned from the front door with a toolbox in one hand and keys hooked around one finger. The yellow porch light glowed, though morning had brightened. Sir, Officer Grant Cole called. Hands where I can see them. Marcus held still. They are right here. Set the box down. It has tools. Set it down. The toolbox touched the porch boards with a hollow click. Officer Melissa Vance came around the car slowly, reading the call notes. Her eyes moved from the house number to Dana Whitcomb's curtain. Cole stopped at the walkway. What are you doing here? I live here. Name? Marcus Hale. ID? Wallet in my back pocket. Deed in the blue folder on the hall table. My federal credentials are there too. Cole's mouth twitched. Federal credentials. I can show you. No, hands visible. Across the street, Evelyn Price held her newspaper against her chest. She had seen him carry groceries that morning, but said nothing. Vance looked toward the side yard. Dispatch said rear window. Cole didn't turn. We have contact now. It matters. It matters he was on property with tools. Marcus shifted the keys to his palm. The window sticks when it gets cold. I was fixing it before my daughter's meeting. Step down off the porch. This is my porch. I'm not asking again. The front door opened behind Marcus. Lila stood in socks, her hoodie zipped wrong. Daddy? Marcus kept his eyes on Cole. Lila, go inside. Why are they here? Cole pointed toward her. Young lady, stay back. Marcus's voice lowered. Do not speak to my daughter like she belongs in this. Then do what you're told. Vance put one foot on the bottom step. Mr. Hale, can she bring the folder? No, Cole said. Grant, if there's a deed, we're not sending a minor into a scene for papers. It's not a scene, Marcus said. It's breakfast dishes and a math worksheet. Only the porch light buzzed. Damp wood chilled Marcus's bare feet. Cole held out his hand. Keys, now. Marcus lowered them carefully. The ring slipped. It struck the boards, bounced once, then slid into the crack between two planks. A thin silver sound traveled under the porch. Lila gasped. That's the house key. My documents are inside, Marcus said. Turn around. Vance crouched. They fell under. Leave them, Cole said. Marcus looked past Lila. Renee's photo stood beside the blue folder, an official seal showing. That card will verify everything, Marcus said. Cole stepped closer. Final warning. Vance rose. Her radio cracked with dispatch asking for status. Cole answered. Contact made. Subject refusing commands. I'm asking you to verify before you escalate. Hands behind your back. The screen door creaked as Lila pushed it wider. Marcus turned slowly. Sweetheart, close the door. Daddy, your keys. I know. Cole took his wrist. Vance looked at the porch number, then at the board where the keys had vanished. Grant, she said quietly, we should slow down. The cuff snapped open in the morning light. Marcus looked at his daughter, not pleading, just holding her there with his eyes as Cole pulled his hand behind his back. The second cuff closed, and Evelyn Price's phone slipped halfway out of her hand before she caught it against her robe. Mrs. Price, Marcus said, turning enough to see her. Please call Clara Bennett at the courthouse. Cole tightened his grip. Do not recruit witnesses. I'm asking for a phone call. You're under detention. For standing on my porch? A van door opened at the curb. Jamal Reed, 29, stepped down with a package under one arm, close-cropped hair, green vest, careful feet on wet asphalt. Everything okay here? He asked. Cole swung toward him. Stay back. I'm delivering here. That can wait. Evelyn lifted her phone. The screen showed Marcus crookedly, the yellow porch light above him, Cole's shoulder blocking half the frame. Her thumb shook until the image blurred. Ma'am, Vance said, are you recording? Evelyn swallowed. I don't know. You are, Jamal said. Hold it steady. Dana Whitcomb watched from behind her storm door. Two teenagers at the corner raised their phones. The air smelled of wet leaves, gas, and burnt toast. Cole noticed the crowd and raised his voice. This subject was reported attempting entry. Evelyn lowered the phone. But he lives there. You know that? She looked at his bare feet, the toolbox, Lila's face behind the mesh. He helped me this morning. That is not proof of residence. Marcus said. The proof is 6 feet behind me. Stop talking. Vance checked her screen. Grant, the caller gave 118 Maple first, then corrected to next door. Dispatch entered 116, but this porch is 114. Cole turned. Are you correcting me now? I'm reading the call. Then read the risk. Behind Marcus, Lila shifted. Above her, the doorbell camera blinked blue, the tiny eye he had installed after Renee missed deliveries. Marcus moved his wrist. His ring scraped steel. Lila, he said. Cole pulled him down 1 step. Quiet. Do not erase the doorbell video. Her face changed, then caught up. The app? Yes. Call the number on the blue card. Vance looked up at the camera. So did Jamal. Cole followed their eyes. You are inventing problems. I'm preserving facts, a woman whispered. Why is he so calm? No one answered. Evelyn stepped into the street, phone in both hands. Her slipper slapped water from the gutter. Officer, his daughter is alone. Cole pointed without looking. Back on the sidewalk. She's 12. Ma'am? Marcus said, Lila, lock the door after I leave. I'm not leaving you. You are going to be safe first. Jamal set the package on the grass and lifted his own phone. Sir, Vance said, let me verify the address before transport. Cole's radio hissed. Unit 7. Status? Cole pressed the button. Subject detained. Crowd forming. Proceeding with removal. Vance stared at him. Removal? He opened the rear door. Move. Marcus stepped from porch boards onto the cold, gritty walk. Behind him, Lila whispered the courthouse number once, then again. Evelyn's video wobbled so violently that Marcus seemed to bend in the tiny screen. Jamal reached over and said, Use both hands. As Cole guided Marcus toward the car, Vance looked back at the house number, then at her call log, and the 2 numbers did not match. Lila, Marcus said, low enough that only the porch seemed to hear it. The number starts with 404. I know it, she whispered through the screen. Cole tightened his grip. No more instructions. Marcus watched Lila's lips move behind the mesh, counting the digits Renee had once turned into a song. 404. 571. Clara Bennett. Vance stood by the patrol car. Grant, the address field has 2 entries. Cole opened the rear door. Then we clear it at the station. Or we clear it here. The cuff scraped Marcus's wedding ring. Officer Vance, the clerk's number is on the blue card. She can verify my schedule and credentials. Cole laughed once. Now he has a schedule. I have a docket at 10. You have a ride at 9. From inside came a tiny beep. Lila had found the cordless phone. Her breath fogged a square of glass above the latch. One hand pressed the blue folder to her chest. Daddy, she called. It's ringing. Cole turned. Put that down. Marcus kept his eyes on her. Ask for Clara. Say your name first. Stop coaching her. Vance stepped between Cole and the porch, only enough that her shoulder cut his path. She's a child making a phone call, Vance said. She's interfering. No, Grant. She's scared. The word hung there. Neighbors stopped whispering. Down the block, a dog barked twice and was pulled indoors. Lila held the receiver tighter. Hello, my name is Lila Hale. I need Clara Bennett. My dad said. She listened. No, please don't transfer me. Marcus closed his eyes for half a second. The cold from the cuffs traveled up his forearms. He opened them before Cole could call it defiance. Cole leaned close. Federal Magistrate, huh? Marcus looked at the patrol car window. Yes. You think saying that changes my job? It should change your process. My process is keeping this street safe. Then start with the right house. Vance's thumb hovered over her radio. Unit 7 to dispatch, confirm original caller location and target address. Cole swung around. I did not authorize that. You don't authorize radio checks. Static cracked. Caller initially gave 118 Maple, corrected to next door, possible 114. Stand by for CAD notes. The street went thin and quiet. Dana Whitcomb's curtain dropped. Lila spoke again inside. Ms. Bennett? It's Lila. They put cuffs on my dad. He told me not to delete the video. Vance looked up at the doorbell camera. Its blue light blinked once, steady and small. Cole slammed the car door though Marcus was still outside it. Enough. We are not conducting court on a lawn. No one asked for court, Marcus said. Only verification. Inside. Vance lowered her radio. Grant, if he is who he says, he can complain with paperwork. Marcus turned towards the screen door. Lila stood very still, receiver at her ear, blue folder under one arm, her breath clouding the glass in uneven bursts. Sweetheart, Marcus said, listen to Ms. Bennett now. Cole pushed him toward the open door. The car roof cut away the house, the porch, then half of Lila's face. Before Marcus bent into the back seat, he saw her wipe the glass with her sleeve, trying not to lose sight of him. The rear seat smelled of old vinyl, coffee and rain trapped in floor mats. Marcus folded his shoulders to fit, wrists pinned behind him. The door shut with a soft thud, and the world outside became glass and reflections. Lila stood on the porch with the blue folder under one arm. In her other hand was Renee's photograph from the sugar bowl, pressed flat against her hoodie. Daddy? Her mouth made the shape of it. Cole leaned into the front window. Sit back. Marcus did. The cuff chain pulled against his ring until the band pressed into skin. He watched Vance return to the steps. Grant, she called. His documents are right here. Leave them. The child handed me the folder. I said leave it. Vance stood with the blue folder open. Morning light showed an embossed seal on the first page. Evelyn, recording from the gutter, lowered her phone an inch. Jamal said, That looks official. Cole pointed at him. You want to join this? Jamal kept his phone up. I'm seeing what everyone sees. The radio crackled. Unit 7, dispatch still verifying call origin. Cole got in and slammed his door. Heat blew dust from the vents. You people love paperwork. Marcus looked through the metal screen. Paperwork proves what happened after someone decides too fast. Save it. Vance opened the passenger door, but did not sit. Grant, I need to log the folder. No, get in. It has a deed. A deed doesn't mean he wasn't doing something wrong. Through the rear window, Lila's face broke into strips of sky, porch rail, and flashing light. She held Renee's photograph so tightly its corner bent. Officer Cole, Marcus said, my daughter has no adult in the house. She can call a neighbor. Evelyn stepped toward the porch. I can stay with her. Vance slid into the passenger seat with the folder in her lap. Cole stared at it. Put it down. It's evidence of identity. It was offered before cuffs. The engine rumbled. Marcus felt every vibration through the seat. Lila came down one step, socks touching cold boards. Milk still darkened the mat. Lila, Marcus called, only loud enough to carry through glass. Stay with Mrs. Price. Cole hit the window lock. That's enough. Marcus watched his daughter read his lips and nod once, tears shining under her lashes. Vance pressed her radio. Unit 7, transporting one. Note possible documentation on scene. Request supervisor meet at station. Cole's head snapped toward her. What are you doing? My report. Your report can wait. No, she said, and the word was small but did not move. Cole drove with someone else's choice inside the car. He pulled away hard. The curb dipped, and Marcus's shoulder struck the door. No one followed. Evelyn stood beside Lila, one arm around air because she did not dare touch the child without permission. Jamal filmed the departing car. Donna watched through a slit in the curtain. At the corner, Marcus looked back. The yellow porch light flickered above the open screen door, and Lila lifted Renee's photograph to the glass as if her mother might help him see the way home. The patrol car turned onto Carter Avenue, and the house disappeared before Marcus could memorize whether the door had locked. The patrol car's tail lights vanished at Carter Avenue, leaving Maple Row with only the porch light buzzing in the cold. For several seconds, no one moved. The cordless phone hissed inside Marcus's house. Lila held Renee's photograph against her chest, while Evelyn Price kept one hand near the girl's shoulder and did not quite touch. Jamal Reed lowered his phone. "Ma'am, the folder." Vance had left it on the porch rail. When Cole's car jerked away, the blue folder slid, hit the step, and opened across the driveway. A loose page skated over wet concrete until it caught beneath a brown leaf. The corner darkened at once. Lila rushed down. "Careful," Evelyn said. "Your socks." "I need it." Jamal stopped the page with his shoe. "Stay out of street." He lifted it by the dry edge. The seal was smeared but readable. United States District Court. Marcus A. Hale. Evelyn's mouth opened. "Oh, God!" Lila took the folder. "I told them." "You did," Jamal said. "We all heard you." Across the street, Dana Whitcomb opened her door 3 inches. "Is he really?" Dana began. Evelyn turned sharply. Her slipper slapped curb. "Not now." The phone inside beeped. Lila ran up the porch, Renee's photograph under her arm. "Hello?" she said. "Ms. Bennett?" A woman's voice came thin and distant. "Lila, stay with me. Where is your father now?" "They took him." "What station?" "I don't know." Jamal stood in the doorway. "Brookhaven Police. Central booking, likely." Lila repeated it. "Please, can you get him?" "I'm calling the chief deputy now," Clara said. "Do not delete any video. Do you understand?" "Yes." "Is there an adult with you?" "Mrs. Price." Evelyn leaned close. "This is Evelyn Price. I live across the street. I should have spoken sooner." The line cracked. Clara's next words dissolved into static. "Hello?" Lila pressed the phone tighter. "Ms. Bennett?" The call broke with a flat tone. No one spoke. The kitchen smelled like toast, but the toast had gone black. Evelyn pushed the lever up, and smoke curled. Jamal stayed at the threshold. "I have the street video." Lila opened the folder. Her fingers were so cold she could not separate the pages. "The doorbell app is on Dad's tablet." "Show me," Evelyn said. "It's in his office. I don't know the password." "Try your birthday." "He doesn't use birthdays." Jamal lifted his phone. "I recorded him saying not to erase it. That matters." Dana stood behind her glass. "Mrs. Whitcomb," Evelyn called, "if you have anything to fix, start with the truth." Tom crossed the street before Dana did. No coat, wrinkled shirt, shame-faced hurry. "My wife made the call," he said. "She gave the wrong address first." Lila looked up. "Did she say he lived here?" Tom swallowed. "I tried to tell her." "That's not what I asked." Tom lowered his head. "No." A second phone rang in Marcus's office, deep and old-fashioned. Evelyn went to it and lifted the receiver. "Hale residence." A calm male voice said, "This is Chief Deputy Alan Mercer. I need every recording, every document, and the exact time they drove away." Evelyn looked at the wet-edged court paper on the table, the leaf still stuck to it like a stain. Then you'd better hurry, she said, because they already took him. The red light on Clara Bennett's desk phone blinked in the courthouse office. Clara had come back for her reading glasses. At 9:14 a.m., the building was empty, the hall smelling of floor wax and paper. She pressed voicemail, and a child's broken voice filled the room. "My name is Lila Hale. They put cuffs on my dad. He said call Clara. Please don't delete the video. Please." Static swallowed the rest. Clara gripped the desk. "Marcus?" She replayed it, stopping before Lila said, "Dad." She knew Marcus Hale's careful voice, the coffee he never finished, the old ring he twisted before hearings. Her hand shook only after she dialed. "Mercer." "Alan, it's Clara. Marcus Hale has been detained." Chief Deputy Alan Mercer was silent. "By whom?" "Brookhaven Police. His daughter called from the house." "That can't be right." "I have the voicemail. Could be a mistaken name." Clara looked toward the courtroom where his 10 o'clock docket sat ready. "His robe is here." His child sounded alone. Mercer's chair creaked. "Send it." At the Hale house, Evelyn held Marcus's desk phone while Lila knelt beside the tablet. "Try your birthday," Evelyn said. "He doesn't use birthdays." Jamal stood near the hallway. "Doorbell app might still be logged in." Lila typed, erased, typed again. The kitchen smelled of burned toast. Renee's photo lay beside the wet-edged court paper, both on a towel. "Mom's middle name," Lila whispered. The screen opened. Evelyn let out a breath. There. The video tile showed Marcus on the porch, toolbox in hand, then Cole's patrol car rolling into view. Lila's finger hovered over send. "Do I?" Evelyn looked at the seal. "Yes, sweetheart." At the station, booking officer Paul Sutter, 44, slid a clipboard across a metal counter. "Name?" Marcus stood with wrists free, one cuff mark raised above his ring. "Marcus Anthony Hale." Cole stood behind him. "Suspicious entry. Failure to comply." Sutter's pen paused. "Charge or detention note?" "Note for now." Marcus looked at the clock above the counter. It ticked under fluorescent lights. "My daughter should have an adult with her." Cole answered first. "Your neighbor has her." "You confirmed that?" "You're not running this desk." Sutter glanced down. "You came in without shoes?" "I was taken from my porch." The pen stopped again. Cole tapped the counter. "Process him." In Mercer's office, the video arrived from an unfamiliar number. Clara stood behind him while it loaded. The speakers crackled, then Cole's voice filled the room. "Hands where I can see them." Mercer watched. Marcus offered keys. They fell through the boards. Lila appeared in the doorway. Vance said something about the address. "Pause," Mercer said. Clara clicked. "Back 5 seconds." The room filled again with Vance's voice. "Dispatch entered 116, but this porch is 114. Mercer's face changed beside his mouth. He reached for his coat. "Alan," Clara said. "I'm going." "Call first." "I will call from the car." He lifted the receiver, then looked at the red voicemail light flashing. It painted a small red dot beside Marcus's unopened docket. At the booking counter, Sutter's phone rang before Cole finished the first sentence of his report. The station phone rang twice before Sutter picked it up. "Central booking," he said. Cole kept writing, pressing hard enough to scar the paper beneath. Marcus sat at the metal table with a plastic property bag in front of him. Inside were his wallet, his watch, and Renee's ring, sealed beside his own. Each time the table trembled, gold tapped against plastic. Sutter straightened. "Yes, Chief Deputy." Cole's pen stopped. Vance stood near the doorway with the blue folder open against her vest. The fluorescent light made the court seal look pale. She had kept it on her lap like something hot. Sutter turned his eyes toward Marcus. I understand. Yes, sir. He is here. Cole stepped forward. Who is that? Federal Courthouse. Marcus looked down at the bag. The ring made one soft click. Vance said, Grant. Don't. Listen to the call. Sutter held the receiver tighter. Chief Deputy Mercer requests no further processing until he arrives. He says the clerk has video. Cole's face tightened. Video of what? Marcus answered quietly. The porch. At the Hale house, Jamal held his phone over the kitchen table while Evelyn and Lila watched the doorbell clip upload. The progress circle stopped at 91%. The burned toast smell clung to the curtains. Come on, Lila whispered. Jamal's delivery scanner beeped. He ignored it. Evelyn set a mug of water beside Lila, handle turned toward her. Drink? I can't. Just hold it then. The upload finished. Evelyn's shaky phone video followed. On the screen, Marcus's voice came small and calm. The clerk's number is on the card in that folder. Evelyn pressed her fingers to her mouth. I heard him. You heard him and filmed, Jamal said. She nodded. Too late, but I did. Back at the station, Vance moved to the counter. The CAD log shows caller correction at 8:19. We were marked on scene at 8:22. Cole leaned close. Are you testifying now? I'm writing facts before I forget them. You're choosing a side. No, I'm stopping a side from becoming the record. Marcus lifted his eyes. My daughter needs to know where I am. Sutter pushed the desk phone toward him, waiting for Cole to object. Cole's mouth opened. The hallway door buzzed first. Chief Deputy Alan Mercer entered with Clara Bennett a step behind him. Mercer's gray tie was crooked from the drive. Clara carried a tablet in both hands. Marcus, she said. He stood slowly. Clara. Her eyes dropped to his bare feet on the cold tile. Mercer faced Sutter. Release him from detention pending review. Cole barked a laugh. You don't command my station. No, Mercer said, but I know when a federal judicial officer has been held after identifying himself and offering verification. Captain Howard Leary appeared from the corridor. Everyone in my office. Now. Cole reached for his report. Vance already had hers. Marcus picked up the phone. Lila answered on the ring. Daddy? I'm here. Are you coming home? As soon as they let me. Did you get the video? I think they did. On Clara's tablet, the porch image froze on Vance's face, looking at the wrong address. Cole stared at it, then at his unfinished report, where one number had been written over another in dark ink. Captain Howard Leary's office smelled of old coffee and copier heat. Close the door, he said. Cole entered with his report folded in his fist. Vance followed with the blue folder. Marcus stopped at the threshold until Clara Bennett saw his bare feet on tile. Sit down, she said. I'm fine. Alan Mercer placed a federal identification card on Leary's desk, then his 10 o'clock docket. Marcus A. Hale sat centered at the top. The air conditioner clicked on, pushing cold air over everyone's hands. Leary read once, then again. Judge Hale. Cole shifted. Captain, he did not present that. I offered the folder, Marcus said. You said a lot of things. Vance opened her notebook. He said it was on the hall table. I saw it. The child handed it to me before transport. Cole turned. You left that out. I said it 3 times. Clara set her tablet on the desk. The porch video showed Marcus with his hands visible, keys falling between boards. Lila's voice came through, thin and high. That's the house key. No one moved. Then Cole's own voice filled the walls. Everybody's important when cuffs come out. Mercer said, Release him, return his property, and preserve every recording. Cole lifted his chin. It was a suspicious person call. It was a homeowner on his porch, Mercer said, after a report of attempted entry. After he identified the home and named a federal court clerk before transport. Marcus looked at the desk phone. "Captain, may I call my daughter first?" Leary's face changed near his mouth. "Of course." Sutter brought in the property bag. Plastic rasped against wood. Marcus removed his ring, slid it over the red mark on his finger, and held the phone with both hands like a cup that might crack. Lila answered before the second ring. "Daddy? I'm still here. Are you hurt?" "No." "Did they believe you?" "They are listening now." Her breath shook. "Mrs. Price made soup, but the burned toast smell is still here." "That sounds like Mrs. Price. Can I keep Mom's picture?" "Yes, until I come home." He waited until she hung up first. Leary cleared his throat. "Judge Hale, I owe you—" Marcus set the receiver down. "My daughter needs a written explanation before she sleeps tonight. Not an apology to me. An explanation she can hold." Mercer nodded. "We can draft a factual notice." Cole gave a short laugh. "This is theatrical." "Grant," Vance said. Leary's voice dropped. "Officer Cole, stop speaking." He looked from Vance to Cole. "Body cameras stay untouched. Sergeant Brooks will secure them. Officer Vance, statement by end of shift. Officer Cole, administrative duty pending review." Cole's face flushed. "For doing my job?" "For failing to slow down when every fact told you to." Clara held out Marcus's shoes. The soles were speckled with porch dust. Marcus tied the worn laces, and the room watched the man they had brought in barefoot become the man named on the docket. "Judge," Leary said, "Marcus is fine." Before he reached the door, Mercer's phone buzzed. Another video from Jamal Reed filled the screen. Vance at the curb, saying the house numbers did not match. Leary saw it too. "Conference room," he said quietly. "This needs a record larger than my office." The conference room had no windows, a long table, 12 chairs, and a wall clock that clicked louder than the air vent. Denise Mallory entered at 10:42 with a folder under one arm. She was 49, compact, silver threaded through a tight bun. "Everyone sit where your name card is," she said. Cole looked at the cards. "This is happening now?" "Yes. Recorded fact review." Marcus sat at the far end. His shoes were tied, but the cuffs had left a red oval above his ring. Vance sat across from him with a paper cup of water she had not drunk. Mallory set a recorder in the center. "We begin with the call." Dana Whitcomb's voice came from the speaker, thin and fast. "A man is trying to get into the yellow porch house." Tom's muffled voice followed. "Say you don't know." Mallory paused it. "Officer Cole, what confirmed forced entry before arrival? Tools in hand. Caller concern." "That was not my question." "No confirmed forced entry," Cole said. Evelyn Price came in with Jamal Reed behind her, housecoat under a beige coat, one slipper replaced by a walking shoe. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "Facts first," Mallory said. Clara played the doorbell video. Keys fell into the porch boards. Lila appeared in the doorway. Vance glanced at the address. Vance's paper cup bent in her hand. A white crease ran down its side. Mallory paused the video. "Officer Vance, when did you first question the address?" "Before the second cuff was secured." Cole turned. "Melissa." She did not look at him. "I said the call listed a different number. I should have stopped transport." The cup collapsed. Water spilled over her knuckles. Marcus slid a napkin across without a word. Vance stared at it before taking it. Thank you. Jamal's video played next. Cole's voice cut through the room. Everybody's important when cuffs come out. Evelyn flinched. Mallory asked, Mrs. Price, did you know Mr. Hale lived at 114 Maple Row? Yes. Before officers arrived? Yes. Did you say that clearly? Evelyn looked down. No, not clearly enough. Cole leaned back. Neighbors change their minds after facts come out. Evelyn turned to him. No, officer. I changed mine too late. Mallory marked another note. Mr. Reed? Jamal sat forward. I recorded after I heard the child say it was his key. The officer told me to stay back. I wish I hadn't stayed quiet. Marcus looked down at his ring, turning it once over the red line. A final audio file played. Donna's corrected address, dispatch entering the wrong field, then Vance's radio check. Mallory closed the folder. Officer Cole, why does your first draft report list 116 Maple? It was a moving scene. You wrote over the number. I corrected a clerical error. With darker ink after the courthouse called. Cole said nothing. Mallory looked to Marcus. Judge Hale, do you wish to make a statement? Not about myself. Then about what? My daughter heard grown people decide her father did not belong on his own porch. Put that in the record before you put my title there. No pen moved for a moment. Then Mallory wrote slowly. Outside the glass wall, Sergeant Brooks appeared with 2 sealed body cameras. Cole saw them and finally looked away from Marcus. Sergeant Brooks placed the sealed body cameras on the table like fragile dishes. Cole stared at the plastic sleeves. You're making this bigger than it is. Denise Mallory did not look up. Your own camera will decide that. Captain Leary stood behind her chair. Officer Cole, you are relieved of field duty pending review. For a call that came in wrong? For a response that stayed wrong after it could have been corrected? The lights hummed. Marcus sat between Clara Bennett and Alan Mercer, one thumb near the red mark above his ring. Vance kept a damp napkin folded in both hands. Mallory opened another folder. 3 prior complaints involve address verification after verbal correction. Cole's eyes moved to Leary. Those were closed. They were filed, Leary said. Now they are reopened. Cole shoved his chair back. The scrape made Evelyn Price flinch. So one judge gets embarrassed and suddenly everyone digs? Marcus lifted his head. My title did not make the porch mine. No one answered quickly enough. Outside, Donna Whitcomb sat in Tom's car, replaying her own call. Each time, her voice sounded more certain than her eyes had been. Tom stood by the door. Come inside and tell them yourself. I said he had tools. You saw keys. I didn't know they were keys. You didn't want to know. Dana looked at the station doors, but could not touch the handle. Inside, Mallory turned to Marcus. What remedy are you requesting? Cole gave a short laugh. Here it comes. Marcus looked at Leary. Use the porch video in training. Use the dispatch correction. Use Officer Vance's hesitation, too. Vance's face tightened. Not to shame her, Marcus said. To teach the moment when a question still has time to become action. Leary nodded. That can be arranged. My daughter also needs someone from this department to explain that the mistake was not hers to carry. I'll do it, Vance said. Cole turned. Of course you will. She faced him. Yes, I will. By late afternoon, Brookhaven had cooled under a flat gray sky. Evelyn walked Lila home with soup she had forgotten to heat. Jamal's van idled at the curb, hazard lights ticking. Lila stopped at the bottom step. The porch boards were dry now, except for the dark line where milk had soaked into the mat. She looked at the road once, then made herself look at the door. Do you want me to go first? Evelyn asked. No. Lila stepped up. The loose board creaked under her sock. She bent, reached between the planks, and pulled out the house key with 2 fingers. Jamal let out a breath. There it is. She held it up, dirty and bright at the teeth. Dad said not to lose it. Across the street, Donna crossed with an envelope. Halfway over, she slowed. Dana stopped at the porch edge. Is your father home? Not yet. I wrote something. Lila waited. Donna looked at the screen door, the yellow light, the girl holding the key. I won't ask you to take it. She placed the envelope beside the door and backed away without knocking. Her name sat on the front in blue ink, the corner curling from mist. When Marcus's car turned onto Maple Row, Lila did not search the street for danger. She kept her hand around the key and watched her father climb the steps. The house key lay in Marcus's palm all the way to City Hall. By 6:30, the council chamber smelled of floor polish, damp coats, and coffee. Lila sat between Evelyn Price and Jamal Reed, her eyes on the key. Marcus had cleaned the dirt from its teeth, but left one dark mark near the ring. Mayor Celia Grant adjusted her glasses. Judge Hale, 5 minutes. Marcus stood. Officers lined one wall, neighbors the other. Reporters waited in back. Grant Cole was not there. Marcus placed the key beside his notes. The sound carried farther than the gavel. I'm not here to say I was embarrassed, he said. I'm here because my daughter watched a process move faster than the facts. A councilman leaned in. You want a new police restriction? I want a pause. Vance sat near Captain Leary in plain clothes, hands folded until her knuckles paled. Before detention on residential property, Marcus said, officers verify the address against dispatch notes, visible numbers, and offered proof. If those facts conflict, a supervisor is called before transport. Someone muttered, easy to say from a bench. Marcus turned his head. It was harder from the backseat of the car. No one laughed. Mayor Grant read the page. Home verification protocol. Not named after me. Named after the place officers were supposed to verify. The mayor looked to the aisle. Officer Vance? Vance rose. Her chair legs scraped once. She reached the microphone without looking at Marcus. My hesitation is on video, she said. So is my silence. The room held still. I saw the mismatch, she continued. I spoke, but I didn't stop what needed stopping. A protocol gives officers a step they can't skip, and partners a word they can stand on. Councilman Reeves frowned. Would policy have changed your choice? Vance swallowed. I should have changed it without policy, but the next officer may need the rule before courage arrives. Lila's fingers closed around the chair edge. Captain Leary stood. The department will accept external review for residential complaint detentions for 6 months. A murmur moved through the room. Mayor Grant looked at Marcus. And the training video? With my child's face blurred, Marcus said. Vance turned toward Lila. Already requested. For the first time, Lila looked back at her. Public comment opened. Dana Whitcomb walked to the microphone with a folded sheet. I made the call, she said. I used guesses like facts. Tom sat in back, head down. When dispatch asked if I saw force, I answered around the question, Dana said. Include caller training, for people like me. Evelyn closed her eyes. Jamal's scanner chirped. He silenced it. The vote came at 8:04 p.m. 5 yes, 0 no, 1 abstention. Mayor Grant struck the gavel softly. The protocol passes. Applause started, then faltered when Marcus did not smile. He gathered his notes and left the key on the podium for one breath. Lila met him in the aisle. "Are we okay now?" Marcus looked past the doors to the dark glass reflecting their faces. "We're safer than yesterday." "That's not the same." "No," he said. "It isn't." He picked up the key. Behind him, Vance was standing by the microphone, as if the room had not yet told her she could leave. 3 months later, the yellow porch light came on at 5:46 p.m., before the sky had fully darkened. Lila stood under it, with batter in one hand, and Renee's photograph on the hall table behind her. She had stopped flinching at every slow car, though she still checked the street before opening the door. Marcus noticed, but did not rush the habit. "Too much cinnamon?" she asked. Evelyn Price leaned from the kitchen, flour on one sleeve. "There is no such thing." Jamal Reed laughed from the porch steps, repairing the board that had swallowed the key. His van was across the street. The city had given him a letter for preserving evidence. He framed it after Lila said heroes could be embarrassed. Marcus came up the walk carrying a cardboard box. "Mail." "Court mail?" Lila asked. "Some of it." He set the box on the table. Inside were letters from Georgia, Ohio, Arizona, and towns Lila had never heard of. One had only 5 words. "He stood still for me." Evelyn touched the edge of the box. "All this because of the report?" "Because people recognized the porch," Marcus said. The report had been public for 14 days. It said Officer Grant Cole failed to verify the address, ignored available proof, and altered a draft report after outside verification began. He was removed from patrol, placed in a non-public administrative role during a certification review, and later resigned before the review ended. No one celebrated it at Marcus's table. Officer Melissa Vance remained with Brookhaven Police under supervision and retraining. She asked to speak at every home verification session. By the 4th one, she could say, "I saw the error and waited too long," without looking away. Dana Whitcomb came 2 Saturdays after the vote. She brought the call transcript, highlighted in yellow, and asked Marcus where to send a statement supporting caller training. "I don't forgive fast," Marcus told her at the door. Dana nodded. "I'm not asking you to." That was the last long sentence he gave her. In the kitchen, Lila lifted a letter from a woman in Missouri whose son had been stopped outside his grandmother's house. Her lips moved over the words, then stopped. "Do you want me to read it?" Marcus asked. She shook her head and folded it. "Not yet." At City Hall, the new protocol had already changed 2 calls. One officer waited 6 minutes for a supervisor instead of making an arrest. Another checked a porch number against a corrected dispatch note and knocked again with an apology. The department posted monthly summaries, thin documents with heavy meaning. Captain Leary delivered the first training packet himself. On its cover was not Marcus's face, not Cole's, not Lila's. It was a photograph of an old brass key lying on a podium. Later, Marcus walked outside alone. The repaired board did not creak. Cold air smelled of wood smoke and leaves. Across the street, Evelyn's curtains were open. Jamal raised a hand from his van. Donna's porch stayed quiet. Lila joined him and slipped her hand into his. "Does the light stay on all night?" "Tonight it does." "For us?" Marcus looked at the yellow circle spreading across the steps, touching the rail, the keyhole, the place where the milk had once spilled and been scrubbed away. "For anyone looking for the right house," he said. They stood there until the street settled, and the porch held its light. If this story made you think of a moment when someone was judged before anyone asked the truth, share it in the comments. Your story may help another viewer feel less alone. Send this to someone who believes dignity should not depend on status, uniform, address, or how calmly a person can survive being misunderstood. And subscribe for more stories about justice, quiet endurance, and the kind of change that does not begin with shouting, but with one person refusing to disappear. Every porch, every workplace, every street has a moment when someone can pause, look closer, and do the right thing. Be that witness before it is too late.